Sup, Jared Nelson? How you doing?
I'm doing well, Bradley. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm getting a little tired of endless runners.
Oh, well, let's play another one then.
Yeah, Infinity Run. If you didn't know, if you couldn't tell by the name, it's an endless runner, but it's not necessarily endless in the traditional kind of sense. So it's an instance-based endless runner. So you're actually running in levels that you can select from world map, but you can go back to previous levels and run them again for gold, which you can use to power up your dude, like directly.
So there's an endpoint?
Yes, I mean, like, I will run into a purple portal in every level, and then progress across the world map. But I can also just choose to go back and do it again. I guess that's where like the endless thing kind of comes in, the infinity aspect of Infinity Run. Okay. I guess.
Yeah.
Unless the levels are just infinite.
You know, I think if endless runners are going to be level based, which I do like, they should at least have a mode that's one endless randomly generated mode. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. And
that's like the best of both worlds.
I don't know. I forgot to check the menu. I don't want to have another menu gate here on TA Plays. So it might have an endless mode. I don't know. But the core campaign is definitely just a bunch of levels that you can run over and over again. The upgrade system's kind of interesting too. Like, you can upgrade your armor, which, you know, if you get staggered by anything, and I haven't actually run into anything that's hit me and like I've been able to live through it, but ideally, whenever you upgrade that part of your armor, you can take more hits and stuff like that. So that's
I feel like you're not going any faster.
Yeah.
Do you speed up at all?
It's a little bit. It's like they don't speed up your character; they speed up the game.
Huh.
Which, you know, is kind of typical with these endless runners. It seems like the engines, like the actual tech that these things run on, are always kind of jank.
Okay, so here's the end.
Yeah. That's it.
Right.
Boom. Now I get a little screen. This game has tons of in-app purchases. That is the thing. But you collect a lot of gold in this game. Like, even from the start, I'm making a ton of gold. Like, I can actually, like, upgrade my dude. And one thing I did, though, I turned on the money hose a little bit just so I can kind of get a somewhat fully upgraded cat, so you can kind of see what goes on there.
All right.
So that's as much as I can get for $1. I think it's like 2,000 gold for $1.
Wow, $1.
There's also a $50 in-app purchase, which is just an obscene amount of gold that you get for it.
You should buy that.
Yeah, you know, I thought about it really hard, and then I reevaluated my life's priorities and decided not to do it. So this is just another level. I beat this one previously. Run through it. Doing my thing. Typical controls. Like, if you played an Endless Runner before, I think you got it. Swipe up to jump. Swipe down to slide. Now you tap on a character to swing your sword. And they telegraph that really well. Like, well before the enemy comes out, you hear it bark, usually.
So I don't like when he slides, it doesn't, you know, Temple Run, the camera dips down and, you know, as you're sliding. I miss that. I kind of feel like that's a good indicator, or, you know. Yeah. I mean, that one, it just, like, the view doesn't change at all. He just kind of rolls under a spike thing.
Yeah. You know, and the more of these I play, and I did we do the Pitfall TA Plays together? Or was that Eli?
I don't remember. I think that was Eli.
Yeah, well, regardless, the more Endless Runners I play, the more I appreciate how good Pitfall was. Like, we made a lot of fun of it for not being Pitfall, right? For not being that game, for just taking the name and doing their own thing. But I mean, it was a really good Endless Runner.
You know, that game just got I liked it too, and it just got a big update, so I'll have to check it out again. But I deleted it because it took too long to load. Yeah. And that was like a killer for me. I was like, okay, I want to play this. And then you stare at the loading screen for 30 seconds, and by that time, I'm like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah. But I mean, like, the stuff that they did with the perspective shifts.
It was interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean, it made it visually interesting at the very least. Because, I mean, these things, Endless Runners are as common on the App Store as third-person cover-based shooters are on consoles. Right? Yeah. And it's just kind of tiring. It's kind of neat to have a game that actually tries to do something outside of the core mechanic, like, differently. Like, and Pitfall, I think, succeeded in that. Like, it had interesting levels, interesting enemy confrontations, interesting kind of camera movements, and I think overall that made it a much stronger Endless Runner than maybe what I gave it credit for at the time.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, this one's not doing it for me.
You not liking it?
Yeah, it just looks so slow, and I don't know, clunky, I guess.
It's kind of uninspired in terms of its fantasy take. Like, you kind of hope that fantasy games kind of run in a little bit more of a direction than just fantasy. Because if you're going to play a fantasy game, this is a fantasy game.
Right.
Like, just, this is the Lord of the Rings of Endless Runners. It's just fantasy. There's no other descriptor for it.
Oh, he got the best of you.
That's all right, man. I got a resurrect potion before we started this.
Oh, I see. Cheater. Okay.
Dude, not cheater. It's just, 500 gold or whatever. You can also pick up resurrection stuff in levels, which is kind of interesting, like how many magnets and boots and resurrection potions that I'm actually seeing in every level. It's almost like these guys balanced the game out to be a paid game, and then we're like, oh god. And then they
gotta throw in-app purchases in.
Yeah, then they bolted that on and then made it free.
I'm not a fan of. I don't really take high scores too seriously in things like Temple Run and stuff like that, or especially like Jetpack Joyride. But the games that give you something that's like super duper boost or like a resurrection or stuff like that. I always wish that games like that had one pure mode that was like no power-ups, you just straight up run.
Yeah, just
everyone else is on the same playing field, and then there's a leaderboard for it. That's what I always wish there was, and I don't think a whole lot of games do that.
Yeah. No, it'd be really easy probably to implement too. I mean, just take out whatever algorithms generating these magnets and stuff.
Yeah, just have a purity mode. How far can you run? And
good idea.
I should design games, man.
Do it.
All right,
Jared Nelson
Brad Nicholson,
games.
the game.
I'll let you license my image.
Okay.
I'll be your first video game. It better not be terrible. I'm coming for you, Jared Nelson.
It'll be amazing.
Coming for you. I'll give you a 0
I don't make
out of
terrible
5.
games.
0 out of 5 on toucharcade.com.
The first 0 ever.
Oh man. So I think this will be the last level I show the people. I think everybody gets it.
I gotta tell you, this is not doing it for me.
Not doing it for you? All right. I wasn't really feeling it either. But I mean, it's almost like it's competent.
Yeah. Competent's not enough. Even very good is not enough when there's so many endless runners out there.
Yeah, it's competent but non-offensive. Like, this isn't going to make anyone angry. Like, this is just a fantasy running game, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's it. But so here we go. This is free. Tons and tons and tons of levels. You look at all that.
Well, shoot, if it's free, I mean, hey, there's stuff to do and you like runners, why not,
If you like endless runners, you might like this endless runner. Jared Nelson. Put that on the back of the box. Infinity Run, guys. No, but look, if you like endless runners, check it out. It might be alright for you. Probably.